Hello, my name is Bethany Chaplin, and I am a conservation specialist with Crow Wing Soil and Water Conservation District. And today I will be giving a presentation on a stormwater BM tour of projects that we've installed throughout Crow Wing County. So this is going to cover 3 projects that we've installed today. Our first one will be Buster Park Landscaping Project, followed by Brainerd Rotary Riverside Park, and then Little Buffalo Creek Rain Garden. So Buster Park Landscaping Project. So this is located near the Mississippi River by East River Road and Jenny Street. And it is a playground for dogs in Brainerd, Minnesota. The address is here if you want to visit it. So this project partners included the City of Brainerd, the Brainerd chapter of Wild Ones, Crow Wing Soil and Water Conservation District, and funding came through the Clean Water, Land, and Legacy Amendment. So the Brainerd chapter of Wild Ones is a national group promoting native plants and natural landscaping. They took on the task of landscaping for water quality, pollinators, and beauty. The group helped design for native perennials to be placed within these rain gardens and a filter strip along the east side of the park with shrubs that bloom all season long. The blossoms are all designed for the rain gardens, but that is just part of this story. The real work is that the plants are doing is below ground, so they help clean runoff from rainfall events in that rain garden by filtering out pollutants before the water is sent to the Mississippi. So you're going to see a couple different plants in the video. We're going to have our purple prairie clover, marsh milkweed, prairie coreopsis, fireweed, butterfly weed, and butterfly milkweed. So let me just share the screen here. So this is when you first enter the garden, you'll see the sign on the right, and that's where you can enter the garden with your dog if you're interested in taking your pet. So the first plant that we're going to see here is the purple prairie clover. Bumblebees and butterflies really like this purple plant. It's a very great pollen source. If you can see, we're kind of blurry, but the pollen is on the outside of that purple prairie clover right there. And then we're going to have some marsh milkweed. It's adapted to, oh yeah, there's our bee with pollen. Super cute. So the marsh milkweed is more tolerant to wet conditions than your common milkweed. And we also planted grasses within this project. So prairie dropseed is going to be this grass to the left right there. It's going to be a good habitat for pollinators to rest in and avoid predators. Yep, there's our prairie dropseed sign. All the plants are going to be labeled at this site, so that's very nice if you're not familiar with them. Yep, so this is our marsh milkweed again. This time it's in bloom. So very pretty plant, good for pollinators. Then we have our prairie coreopsis. Also a very good pollinator plant and more tolerant to wet conditions. Then we have our fireweed. It's very tall and purple. An invasive species that might look similar to this one is purple loosestrife. But fireweed is native to Minnesota and we definitely recommend planting it. And then we're going to have our orange here. We're going to have our butterfly weed. It's a good pollinator plant for those monarchs and butterflies and bees. And then finally, we'll show off our common milkweed that many are familiar with. It's a good host plant for those monarch caterpillars throughout the season. And then the shrubs that are placed on this property are going to be on the left side of the fence. So you'll have to check those out. So then let's get back to our presentation. So that one's just a really great site. If you wanted to bring your dogs and your family and check it out, we highly recommend it. Next, we'll talk about Rotary Riverside Park. That is just down the road off of East River Road from the dog park location. So it's right next to the Mississippi as well. You'll be able to park in this parking lot here, and you'll just walk back once you see the sign. It will say, "Welcome to Rotary Side Park." So partners for this project include the City of Brainerd, Brainerd Rotarians, CLC College, Crow Wing SWCD, and funding came through the Clean Water, Land, and Legacy Amendment. The work done in Rotary Park has helped reestablish habitat for pollinators. Aggressive native plants were planted to suppress the non-invasive or non-native invasive species to help rebuild ecological health. The 9-acre area was seeded with regionally sourced native seeds and 2-inch plant plugs from prairie restorations. So some plants that we'll see right away are blue vervain, some bergamot, and some yarrow. So let me share the next video. Give me 1 second here. There we go. So this is coming right off of the parking lot. So you'll see this gate here and you'll be able to walk around the side here. So this trail here will follow all the way to the 9-acre site. So I'm just gonna skip ahead here. We'll keep walking. It's a good ways walk. So you just follow the path. And then instead of taking a right when it forks, you're going to take a left. Over here will be a bunch of willows. So we'll just follow that path down and we're getting closer. So here we're at the end of the trail. So then we can kind of see this large opening, and that's where our project is going to be established. It's very gorgeous and quiet back here. There's lots of deer, and earlier this year we actually had some goats that were grazing through Minnesota Native Landscape that help us control the buckthorn within Rotary Park, and they do a wonderful job. So here we're walking up, getting a bit closer. Installed here is now going to be a sign explaining the project. There's part of the project as well. So this project is still within the early stages. So it was planted a few years ago. So we'll be potentially doing a prescribed burn on the project to help those native plants grow better. So here we're going to have our blue vervain. It's a very good pollinator plant. The site is very wet in some places and dry in others. So it has a ton of different types of species of plants adapted for this 9-acre site. It is not consistent throughout. We have lots of different colors, lots of different yellows, tons of pollinators. That's a bread and butter plant. Lots of pollinators were flying when I went out to this site, which was really great to see. Just a wonderful site for them to get food to bring back to their hives. So that one right there is going to be some yarrow, the white one right here, mixed in with some blue vervain. And our bergamot is going to be in that back corner over there. But it has tons of native plants growing, and eventually this will turn into a seed collection site. So if you would like to collect seed from this site to have your own native flowers in your yard, that is our goal with this 9-acre site. Perfect. So then let's go back to our presentation. So then our final project I'm going to talk about today is Little Buffalo Creek Rain Garden. So we can see in this top photo up here, Little Buffalo Creek. It is in Brainerd-Baxter area of Minnesota, and it flows directly into the Mississippi River. So partners of this project include the City of Brainerd, the U of M Extension Office, Crow Wing Soil and Water Conservation District, and funding was provided through the Clean Water, Land, and Legacy Amendment. Plants used for the rain garden all grow locally within 100 miles of Brainerd, and we helped install about 17 different rain gardens throughout the Little Buffalo Creek area. This helps capture around 15,000 gallons of stormwater that is then filtered before it is flowed directly into the Mississippi River, and that's with about a 1-inch rainfall event. So this project, the 17 landowners were able to pick different plants for their project based off of how much sun they have. So this rain garden that I will show you in a second here has about 11 different plants and grasses. So we have the butterfly weed, narrow-leaved milkweed, coreopsis, culver's root, obedient plant, marsh milkweed, goldenrod, blue flag iris, which is definitely a wet-loving species, prairie dropseed, fox sedge, and blue joint. You can see here, one of our coworkers was able to mark how tall these plants get, what kind of soil moisture that they like, whether or not they're dry, they like wet or dry conditions, or they're very wet conditions. So let's quick take a look. Give me 1 second here. There we go. All right. So here's our project today. We can see those prairie coreopsis in the back, right here in the front too. We have some prairie dropseed. Obedient plant is the purple. So this rain garden, like all the other ones, is going to have a pre-treatment structure. So you can see it right here. So a pre-treatment structure means that it is going to trap that sand, silt, or any other debris right here before it goes directly into the Mississippi River. So ideally, what you're going to want to do is use a shovel or a broom and take all that sand out of this pre-treatment structure about every year at the end of winter, and you're going to want to dispose of that at a landfill. And that's just going to help your garden not get full of sediment and be able to filter out those pollutants a lot better. So there we have our little blue stem. So let's go back to sharing our presentation. So then here are some of the resources today that I will include. The Brainerd Dispatch did an article about our Little Buffalo Creek Rain Garden, so I will attach that in here, and then also information if you would like to visit Buster Park or Rotary Riverside Park in Brainerd. So thank you so much for tagging along for this quick tour of BMPs within our Brainerd-Baxter area of Crow Wing County. If you have any questions about these projects or more projects that we've helped installed, please email or call us or visit our website. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.